My Moon Kitty Mixup group in particular is a place specifically designed for women or people in general. When they buy wigs from me, I want them to be able to go to a private place to share what they look like, so they can get feedback on what the hair looks like on them, so they can get feedback about whether or not that style will work for them, so they can get ideas for new styles and tips and tricks on how to take care of that hair. Moon Kitty Mixup is a Facebook group, and the only one of its kind that was designed just to be a safe hideaway for the customers of sisterwigs.com, where they can share their experiences and what they look like in the hair without a bunch of competing interests getting involved. There are no influencers that call the shots, nobody else is running their agenda, and even I don't run a lot of sales in my own group. I'm very, very careful about that. We like to let the customers run the show. And because we like to give the customers the freedom to run the conversation any way they want, we have some very real rules that we very really enforce. And those rules are stipulated up front. People have to agree to them before they participate in the group. It's not for customer service. The good news is that anytime you email or message us, like message Sister Wigs on Facebook Messenger, it connects to our help desk and we can actually respond to you there. But it does no good at all if you try to DM one of the mods and ask a customer service question, because they don't work in customer service. They're volunteers, okay, for the most part. So they're not going to answer your customer service question. They will just forward it to the help desk. You might as well just cut out the middleman and contact the help desk directly. It's just support@sisterwigs.com for the record. And then, so it's not a place for people to get customer service. We're upfront about that. It's rule 1, literally. And rule 6 is no self-promotion. That includes all the stuff that I mentioned. It also includes things that are more like conceptual products, like podcasts, YouTube channels, etc., etc. Anything you can monetize is a product that you're attempting to sell. I wanted to take a moment to kind of explain, just really gently, why I personally didn't want to make this a wig support group. For one, there are a lot of them already on Facebook. That's a pretty big reason. The other reason is I was a member of a lot of those groups for years. One thing that really bummed me out and ultimately led me to stop being a member of a lot of these groups was that it was really depressing to be in these groups. It was like every time I would open up Facebook, the feed would just be an endless parade of really sad stories and the tops of people's heads. And I realized, really realized very quickly that, there are stages to this. And when people are in the really early stages, yes, they need a place where they can talk about, their hair loss and share that grief with people. But for those of us who experience hair loss as a chronic part of our day-to-day life, something that will never go away and something that we have to live with forever, there is a point where you just kind of accept it. And once you reach that stage, it's literally very depressing to constantly see that parade of negativity on your newsfeed. And it's nice to have the option to once in a while go in there and lend people support. But if that is all you're seeing all day long and people complaining about, other stores that they're purchasing stuff in, and it's just negative, even if you put a positive spin on that and make it sound like it's all for the benefit of the community, it only really benefits people who are still in that active grief stage, or people who are super passive aggressive and just want to complain about, purchase regret. So, I didn't like that. I didn't like that as a recreational thing. I didn't feel like, after a while that it was doing much of any good for me psychologically to be a part of those groups, particularly when I do this for a living. And part of my job is helping support people professionally with this stuff. So I was like, light bulb moment. There have to be other people out there like me who have progressed to the point in their hair loss journey where this isn't something they actively mourn anymore. It's just something that they want to live with, have fun with, make the most of, and celebrate with other people. And that is what Moon Kitty Mixup is. It's hard to explain because people are so used to these other kinds of groups. They're used to everything about wigs being about hair loss and being about grief. Well, I would like to spread the message that this doesn't have to be about grief. It doesn't have to be about surviving. You can thrive. You can have fun. This can be a joyous thing if we choose to make it that way. And that is what Moon Kitty Mixup is about. I want to create an environment that is more positive from inception, so that way, you know, we have an environment where a lot of people can benefit from it organically without us having to force positivity narratives. Like it's baked in, because when you remove the grief as the emphasis, there's so much more to explore. And there's more depth and there's more fun. And that is what we encourage here at Moon Kitty Mixup.